Been looking for a house with no walls or no whispers, no hiding places, no secret sister. Been looking for a house that won't shelter a lie, no tear-stained past or reason to cry. I wanna live in a house.
This is Empowering Women Everywhere. I'm your host, Nan Gill, and today our guest is Rene Marie. She is a professional coach, a guest speaker, a performer, an author. She's founder of Language of Love Foundation, and she has an internet TV show entitled Stroke of Luck TV Show. Hi, Rene. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity and the invitation to be on your show. I've watched a few of them, and they're awesome.
Well, it's great to have you here. I've reviewed what you do, and the strange part, we never knew this, but our best friends are best friends.
Yes, it's God, as we believe, is
Right.
so miraculous in the connections and just the way He brings people together. And Tommy and Janine don't even know about our connection because I just found out about it. But wait until they find out. They're gonna be pretty impressed. They're gonna be
Right,
pretty
they
impressed.
had Mousetrap TV.
Madhouse
Madhouse
TV and Mousetrap Cafe, and believe me, I always get them confused because they're so intertwined. They're so intertwined.
So, Rene, tell us a little bit about your work.
My work, well, it really, the basis to, I've always been a singer. I've always been a performer, always loved the industry, was always singing to spread joy and love my entire life. My mom is an opera singer. She mastered at Juilliard, so music has always been a part of my world,
Right.
my world. But it wasn't until 1989 that God kind of knocked me on the head and got my attention. And I had a divine intervention and conversation with God. I had a stroke. I suffered a stroke. I don't even like to say suffered because I didn't suffer. It really was a stroke of luck, as my book claims.
And what's the title of your book?
Stroke of Luck. Stroke of Luck. And that's why my TV show is called Stroke of Luck as well. But that was really the stripping of and really the divine intervention, I would like to call it, that really started me on this new path and new journey.
Right.
And it wasn't that easy, because although I know it was a God intervention and I know God had a lot to do with it, I had a lot of work to do to shed the layers and to really work for God. And that was one of the things that I had mentioned to God, that I promised to work for you forever.
Right. Well, what I found is that sometimes He allows things to happen. He doesn't, because in this world there's so many things. I mean, you could not be eating properly and you could end up, do you know what caused your stroke?
You know what? I don't know the medical term because I always try to say in a positive vein. I just know it happened.
Right.
And what am I going to do about it? And I'm going to move forward and work for God. And that really is the basis to who I am.
Now, after you had your stroke, you said that you heard from Him?
Well, I was on the softball field, Wagawar Fields in Hawthorne, and I was coaching third base, and I was walking across the field to get to our dugout, which is the first base dugout.
Now, wait a minute. Who were you coaching? What team?
I was coaching a team that I used to play on for many, many years. This was like 25 years into me coaching, 25 years. Because it was a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade team. So ever since I used to play on that team,
Right.
I always continued to coach it as well.
Okay. And you're in Hawthorne?
And I'm in Hawthorne, New Jersey. Hawthorne, New Jersey. So
That's amazing. My parents went to Hawthorne High School.
They did?
Yeah.
That is so funny. I graduated from Hawthorne High School in 1981.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
And I think they got married in Hawthorne. really
in
do.
St. Anthony's Church.
I'm not sure which
Oh
one.
my God,
I'll tell you. I
please.
have to look it up.
That's okay. What year did they graduate?
I don't even
Yeah,
remember.
yeah.
I
Well, I
don't-
graduated. Yeah.
Oh no, my parents. So
No,
it
no,
was
no, I'm
like a
saying,
long
but
time
that's-
ago. It was
that's-
like in the 40s.
That's like incredible that the
We have this
connection.
connection.
I mean, between all of us,
Right.
that's incredible. Tommy and Janine, your mother.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I was walking across the field to the first base dugout, and that's when my daughter was 6 months old at the time. She was in someone's arms, and my sister was there, and other coaches were there. And actually, a lot of the coaches that I used to coach with that weren't coaching at that time
Right.
came back for that particular game. So God was saying to me as I was walking across the field, let's try it again, Renee. You didn't listen to me the first
Wow.
time that I tried to get your attention, which was 13 years prior, on the same field, the same date, and the same people around me. So everybody came back and God was trying it again. So I walked into the dugout and I said, I remember I need help. And my body went down and my soul, my spirit went up.
Wow.
And I watched everything happening on the field below me.
Right.
And I looked up and I saw the light. And God began to talk to me.
Uh-huh.
And I knew when you're in that sphere, that world,
Right.
you just have a knowing of who and what is going on.
Right.
And it's so beautiful. There's so much love and joy. You know,
I know.
it's just it's unbelievable. So, you know, and the bottom line was that I said, you know, please don't take me. I don't want to go. I'm not ready to go yet. I have so much to do in this world. He says, I don't want to take you. I want you to always remember you have to work for me. So I said,
Wow.
whatever you want me to do, whatever you want me to do, and that's
I'm in.
I know. Well, I know, but that's a hard commitment because sometimes God asks for things that the average person wouldn't understand, and sometimes He doesn't even let me know why He's asking that of me. But I need to trust
Right.
that it's
The
His
amazing
calling.
thing is, if you do trust Him and follow Him, that later on you find out why.
Right.
It might not be right away.
Right.
It might not even be for years.
Yes, you're.
It's like the craziest thing
Yeah.
because the things that He, taught me with title and mortgages and
Yes, you were
abstracts
just
and all
telling
that,
me how He taught you.
Now He's asking me to go and help people that are suffering and they need help, with reverse mortgages.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're facing foreclosure. So He knows when to, He might train you to do something, but He'll call you when He wants you to
Yes.
do something. And
Yes.
you have to be, it's an honor.
Yeah. Well, it's an honor, and that's why, I always try to listen to His work that I need
Exactly.
to do. Yeah.
So 13 years prior, what did He ask you to do?
Well, 13 years prior, I was on the same softball field.
Right.
I was on third base. I was playing at that particular time.
Okay.
And my coach, Barbara Stewart, was on third base. And my coach, Pat, I think she was in the dugout, and she called for Laura Tarula, the batter, to do a bunt, a squeeze play. And I'm like, oh, I love this because I love, I'm all in.
Right.
So Laura bunted the ball, and I ran in as soon as it was, as soon as it was pitched, I ran in, and she dropped the bat. Well, my helmet fell off. I hit the end of the bat, and the end of the bat came up and hit me in the head. So I went into convulsions at that particular time. However, I know that I was so covered up and so in this weird world that I didn't hear that God was trying to get my attention.
Right.
And He wanted to talk to me. So 13 years later, it was like, okay, I get it. I hear you. I'm sorry I didn't listen for the last 13 years when you were trying to get my attention, but I'm ready now. We should get a team together, and the sponsor should be God.
That's cool.
Okay?
Good idea.
That's good. That's good. I'm actually writing a follow-up book, actually writing 3 follow-up books. One is called Awaken Your Practice, which has to do with my life coaching, which, you know, in my world, you have to awaken, you have to become aware of what is blocking you and what is standing in your way, which I finally got when I got hit in the head with a baseball bat, except it didn't really come forth that quickly. You know, I had to go through all the earthbound recovery of a stroke, which was a lot. I mean, I suffered from something called aphasia after my after my stroke. And aphasia is the miscommunication, the inability to communicate with words, or in my world, I know that my brain was a little bit scrambled. So somebody had to help me to defragment my brain and really to clear and put everything back. And I always reprogram it. I use the computer analogy because people are so into computers. It really needed to be defragmented, like, okay, this goes over here and this goes over here and this goes over here, and that's garbage, let's delete that, you know. So yeah, so that was but aphasia is one of the important pieces of my foundation, Rene Marie's Language of Love, which you spoke about initially, because, you know, when you suffer a stroke, you can see the disability on someone's physique. You know, they most of the time they have a little bit disabled, you know, whether it's the way they walk or or they're in
some
a wheelchair.
of their motor skills are not quite bad.
But aphasia is the brain. And you don't know what's going on in the brain. And you don't know that someone has suffered a stroke if you're looking at them. Like, if you looked at me, you would never understand or think that I've suffered a stroke. Although I've compensated for how I move, and I mean my right arm doesn't straighten out too much, but in the brain, like, most people don't take the time to be aware or have compassion for people that suffered a really severe, I mean, strokes are life-changing. They're the #5 leading cause of death. No, the fifth leading cause of death in the United States, and the first leading cause of disability. So that means that we're all just like suffering a stroke, being shambled, and your world is crashed, and you're left to pick up the pieces. And that's #1. So I really wanted to get the word out on the strokes and aphasia. Aphasia is a really big part of it.
So what did the Lord ask you to do?
Just to do what I'm doing. Really, He follows my lead. You know, He brought me, you know, to Michelangelo, who is There You Have It Productions, is a very dear friend of mine who I met through Bobby Baby Walker and Kathy Walker. And Bobby Baby Walker is right now in the hospital suffering from a stroke because of his diabetic. He's a diabetic. And so, hi, Bobby, how are you? And, you know, so we went to, Michelangelo asked me to be on Tommy Moore's show. Okay, so I'm sitting there and Tommy's talking to me, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to have a telethon, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that. And Tommy goes, oh, that's really good. And Tommy said something to me. He said, oh, do you want to be the MC? And he didn't say no to me.
Of course.
When you don't say no, that's a yes.
You get the job.
That's a job. That's a job. So we set up a meeting after that interview on his show. We set up a meeting, and we're all in the conference room, and we're all talking, and I'm talking to Vicky and Tom, or no, I forget who I was talking to, but oh yeah, Bobby, my one of my foundation members, was talking to Vicky about doing a TV show. I'm like, no, we don't have time to do that. We got to work on a telethon. He's like, no, we're going to do a show. I'm like, no. And I didn't, like, me being, you know, as determined and focused as I am, I wasn't listening. Like, this is important. Like, you know, God was telling Bobby to set up a show, and it really turned out marvelous. The whole...
Now you can still see some of your shows on the internet.
They're all on the internet. All on the internet. They're all on www.Rene Marie Stroke of Luck TV. So it's Rene Marie strokeoflucktv.com. Yes.
And your foundation is, what's the address for
The address for the foundation is www.renemarielanguageoflove.org. And the telethon one is www.languageoflovetelethon.org.
Okay. So what work does your foundation do?
My foundation has the platform of the TV. It sponsors a TV show. We go around to, the mission statement for my foundation is the telethon is one of our mission statements.
Right.
Stroke awareness, stroke and aphasia awareness is the other one.
Right.
Then the third mission statement, which I'm very proud to say we're actually getting in gear right now to work on that, is to help those that their insurance has run out.
Right.
To help those. So we're right now getting a donation, and from that we're going to make 2 donations. They're small right now, but we're living up to our mission statement. We're going to someone from aphasia whose insurance has run out, and some are from the stroke world. Their insurance has run out.
Somebody wants to book you for a show or to speak. What
Yes.
number would they call?
They'd call 973-985-0420, or you can reach me on either email. You can reach me on rmproductions777@aol.com or renemarielanguageoflove@gmail.com.
Okay, great. So what do you see in the future? What would you like to see for your organization?
My organization was a dream 5 years ago. This past December was 3 years young. So we really just want to take it to the next level. We're working on a couple projects. One of them is with clothing, a clothing line, which our vision is to get the clothing line and have people feel the love through the clothing. I don't want to give too much away, but that's one of it. Kathy Walker, who was actually Bobby's wife, who's also in the hospital right now, she had a great idea about a cookbook.
Okay.
So we're going to do a cookbook to raise funds for our foundation. You can also help our foundation through Amazon. Amazon Smiles. I don't know if you ever heard of Amazon
Yes, of
Smiles.
course. Yeah, everyone knows about Amazon Smiles. If you are making a purchase and you want to take the change and round it up to the nearest dollar, you can donate that to a foundation.
Yes, or there's certain products, if you buy them, they donate without even affecting the purchase price. So it's really exciting. So you could just choose the Rene Marie's Language of Love Foundation to help as well. And I'm working on my show, the way I just told you. That a portion of the proceeds will go to the foundation.
Right.
So we got a lot of stuff in the works for our organization.
And you have a telethon coming up this April.
Yes, it's actually always on Palm Sunday.
Okay.
So it's March 25th, 2018.
Right.
2018, and we're actually looking for another venue to do it. And really, my vision for the telethon this year would be to have it through a college or high school,
Right.
and really bring a town together. We'll not only be educating the world, but we'll be educating the children or the students through their work, and they could do the production end of it and really
That's a
grasp.
great
Yes,
idea.
yes, that's my vision. And I actually am looking to get some bigger entertainers for it. And I work very closely with Mark McEwen also. Do you remember Mark McEwen?
I do.
Yes, he's the CBS broadcaster and entertainment caster, and he's actually going to be a co-host on one of my TV shows. He's going to do it through Skype. He has suffered a stroke as well.
For aphasia, when you had difficulty speaking
Yeah.
and even writing.
Yeah.
Right.
I vividly remember, this is a God thing, because don't forget, I was in a world where I couldn't understand, I couldn't speak, I was
Right.
but I remember God saying to me, remember this moment, because it's going to be really important when you're talking. And I remember when the therapist put the book in front of me, and the boy ran, and I couldn't say it. I was like looking at it going, I don't know what it is, and I don't know how to say it.
Right.
And you know, and those are the types of pinpoint moments in my life that I remember, you know, God has guided me to remember to talk about. It is so devastating and so frustrating,
Right.
to not be able to speak or communicate.
So tell us about the books that you're writing. You have one book that's already out.
One book that's already out, Rene Marie's Stroke of Luck,
Okay.
which is where we got the. It's fun. It's funny. A funny story how that name came about, because I wrote my story like pretty much 10 years after my stroke. I mean, it was pretty close to me having my stroke, because it's been over 27 years that I've had my stroke, or 28 years, I don't even know. It was 1989. And I thought I was going to put, I could believe I can fly, because with God I could fly, I could do what I want, I could live, I could, you know, like, there was no boundaries for
Right.
me, you know. And then someone where I was working came to me, and she started talking to me, you know, like, and what I can see is when somebody's looking me in the straight in the eyes, like, I could see God in what they're saying to me.
Right.
And she said to me, you know, a good title for your book would be Stroke of Luck. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's it. So I made it Stroke of Luck. And then, of course, I'm working on Awaken Your Practice, which we spoke about prior.
Awaken Your Practice.
Awaken Your
right,
Practice.
Which will be coming out. Where can they get Stroke of Your...
Well, Stroke of Luck, you can go to my Rene Marie Stroke of Luck internet website,
Right.
or you can go to Amazon, or you can go to Barnes and Nobles. But
Right.
if you want to find the link for it without having to search, or you could go to my website, Rene
Right.
Marie Stroke of Luck TV, and just hook up that way. You can
Yeah,
click
because
on
if
it.
anyone is experiencing a stroke or has a loved one that's experiencing a stroke, that is a great book,
Yeah.
a great reference
Yeah.
to...
And actually, on my life coaching, I'm coaching families and stroke patients.
Okay.
Not in their medical condition, but just in the love and just to help them through.
Right.
Because I know what it feels like
Right.
to suffer a stroke, and I know what it feels like for families to deal with watching their loved one when they can't help them. They
Right.
can't do it for them. They
Right.
can't do it for
So
them.
you actually coach families who's has someone that had a stroke.
Yes, yes.
And they could just call you at what number?
973-985-0420.
So tell us about, you have 2 other books coming out.
Well, Awaken Your Practice is the second one. And then the other one is really my bio. It's called Extra Inning. And this is the extra inning in my life.
Yep.
We all have an extra inning. What are we going to do with it?
You got a free one there.
Yeah. So, you know, I want to win the game. I'm a determined one to win the game. And the truth is, and this is what I try to make people.
You got a few extra innings here.
Yes. But the truth is that I don't look at it like it's me against anybody. You know, it's me.
No, together.
Yes, it's me together with everybody.
Right.
And really, you know, my job is to just spread love and to bring joy and to really have people come together. Actually, I'm doing, I don't know if you know, but on September 21st is a Day of Peace from the United Nations. And Karen Noe, she's a medium and author. Her passion is to bring peace to the world,
Yes.
and mine is to bring love to the world. So we're going to be broadcasting on that day. We're recording it prior because Karen's unavailable that day, but we're going to be broadcasting the peace and love through the world.
Good.
Peace and love through the world.
Good.
Yeah.
I know people. I've noticed that people, when they see another person, they think, "Oh, geez, what can I get from them?" Instead of thinking, "Oh, what can I give to them?
Yeah.
What can we do together?"
Yeah.
And it changes the whole dynamic of your life entirely. If you think about what can we do together that's going to benefit us both.
We're all connected.
We are.
We're all connected. We're all, you know, when I look at other countries and I see people and they're living the same lives we're living. They get up every day.
Right.
They're grateful for the little they have, or money is not the solution to everything. You know, you have to have your health. You have to have love around you. You have to have family, friends. That makes you rich.
The most important thing is love.
That makes you rich. That
Yeah.
makes you rich. And your faith, of course, you know, belief in God. And honestly, I always say that you know, I'm not one to tell you what faith to be, but I do believe that you should have faith. You need to have faith. How could you not have faith when this world is a little bit erratic? You have to trust in something.
Right.
Something you have to believe in.
Well, you have to test it out. You know, the big thing is to test it out. You can't, you know, I would always watch and observe. And when you go through a difficult time, that's when you really realize that he's with you, or
Yes.
she's with you, or
Yep.
whatever you believe, the Spirit is with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the only way you can get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah.
tell me a little bit about your movie.
My movie is based on my book.
Okay.
You know, because I really, God has told me that it's going to be a platform, because I'm an entertainer, because, you know, you know, I've had a story of hope, and He spoke to me through that, and really it's been God my entire life that really has guided me and really been with me my entire life.
Right.
And I remember as a little child, I was thinking, you know, on the way here, and because when I'm traveling, especially when I'm traveling long distance, which I travel to come here, that's when I have the time to really envision the book, and envision and write more for the book,
Right.
and think about the movie. And I remember as a small child being on my basement of my father's house, and really just laying there crying, and not knowing where I was or what I was going to do, but I felt something on me. I felt God's hands on me.
You felt His love.
I felt His love.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what it was back then. I didn't know what it was. But now, you know, I know what it is.
As you mature, you get to
Yes,
learn
you
more.
can become wiser. You become wiser. So, you know, I hope to, you know, put this movie together and work on a documentary and work on a movie, and, you know, just to bring the peace and love to God, you know, of God to the
Right,
world.
To the world, yeah.
Yeah.
So if someone wants to be on your telethon on Palm Sunday,
And you know
they're
why
an actor, or they're a singer, or they play an instrument,
you can email me or call me at 973-985-0420, or you can email us at Rene Marie languageoflove@gmail.com.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you so much.
We
Thank you so
enjoyed
much.
learning about your struggles and your prize and all that you've been through and learned. And if you want to get in touch with Rene, please give her a call or email her. And we have the numbers up on the screen, so you can give her a call and get in touch and get involved with the things that she's doing. And even if you're not an artist, you can help out with the telethon.
Absolutely. One of my foundation's vision is to have a representative in each state when we're doing the telethon. We just want to spread the love. We want to make sure that everybody's getting the full power. And the American Stroke Association is a beneficiary, as well as my foundation, for the telethon.
Right.
So
thank you so much. Empowering Women Everywhere is happy to bring Rene Marie to visit with you. And if you have a project, or if you know of someone that's doing good work in the community and in the world, please have them give us a call at 845-294-7500 so they can schedule their show. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Hi, I'm Lenny Galino. I'm a retired New York City detective. I was with the New York City Police Department for 21 years, retired in 2006, and now I'm the proud owner of Gold Shield Investigations. I got the opportunity recently to see Collar. And you know, I'm a real critic when it comes to police movies, cop movies. Well, I got to say this. In watching Collar, I thought it was authentic. It hit home. The actor portrayal, TJ, was right on the mark. You know, what I see a lot of times with these police movies, the actors always seem to overact the part of a police officer. And, you know, in any professional looking at it, you know, maybe even some people, you know, they like the drama of it, but it comes through. And in this particular movie, the way it was portrayed, it was authentic. The storyline, the real issues, issues that really are not spoken about. Something could be learned from this.
I've been looking for a